Hello creatives, I'm Joanna Penn from thecreativepenn.com, and today we're talking about how to make a large print edition of your book. Now, why would you do this? Because, if you want to read large print, you can get an e-reading device and turn up the font size. And this is certainly what I thought a while back. I thought, well, why would anyone buy large print these days? You just buy an e-reader and turn up the font and you're fine. But to my surprise, I discovered that there is still a big market for large print books. This can be in libraries, this can be people who just prefer to read paperbacks but can't see the font when it's a normal size. So how do you do this? Now, I've done this for a couple of my books, the large print Penny Appleton Sweet Romance, and these are the main ones we started with because this particular book, Love Second Time Around, has more mature protagonists. So, it is about love later in life. This is the pen name that I co-write with my mum. So this is, later in life story. But essentially what we decided to do was give large print a try, because when I was setting up ads for this, I found that large print romance was something that people were looking for. So we decided to serve that market, and it's been quite crazy because, and I've got the figures here, for the first year of this book, the ebook has sold 52% of the income has come from ebooks, 12% from the normal size print, and 36% of the first year's income has come from the large print edition. Now, these have not set the world on fire in any way in terms of KU or Kindle Unlimited, if you don't know what that is. So in terms of page read income, it hasn't been massive. So essentially, focusing on print means that we can make more income from the same product for very little cost. So all you need to do for a large print edition, and actually I've just started to do this for my crime mystery series. So here's Desecration, so you can see the comparison size. There we go. So that's the normal size book next to the large print book. So this is 5 by 8 inches, and this is a 6.14 times 9.21. Now I'll put these all the details in the show notes below, but essentially the bigger format, and then obviously you have to use a bigger font. So we're using 16-point font. Obviously you can't see very much, but it is a much bigger font, so people can read more easily. But essentially, and of course then you need a different ISBN because it's a different edition. But all you need to do, take the same file, change the sizing, and if you use vellum, and there's a tutorial on vellum that I've done, it's very easy to do this, to format it. You can do a bigger, exactly the same version of your cover, but at a different size, obviously. And if you have a cover designer, they shouldn't charge you very much to just give you the same cover design and back blur, but in a slightly different size. We've also used this large print sticker on the book, which I think helps just differentiate it. So once you've done that, you can upload as usual to CreateSpace, to Ingram Spark, and of course if you already are using KDP print for your normal paperback, you will need to do a separate edition. You can again use CreateSpace, use Ingram Spark, and I like using Ingram Spark for this too because of the potential library sales. You could do a marketing run on libraries, for example, with large print, and I think that market's really interesting. I haven't tapped into that myself, but I know many authors who are looking at library sales, and I think that is a good market. And at the moment, not many indies are doing large print, and I think a lot of publishers have stopped doing large print, so this is a market. Now, of course, by talking about it, I'm sharing it with you, and I fully expect us to create a new market for large print, so that's my plan anyway. So when you do publish on Create create space, there is a checkbox for large print, so presumably people can search for that, and on Ingram Spark you can just put it on the metadata field and they mark it as large print. And then when the book goes live onto Amazon, you can link the edition to your the rest of them. So if you go into Amazon and look at Penny Appleton Love Second Time Around, you're going to see ebook, print and large print edition, and it's just one of the other editions, but it should come up under large print romance, or at least it did until I told all of you lot and you started advertising to it as well. But you know I like to share what I'm doing, so let's go for it. So I think it would be great if we sort of revived that market and really started looking at that. I think indies so often just focus on ebooks because obviously most people make their revenue from ebooks, but in the last sort of 18 months since I've been taking print far more seriously, I have started to do all these different editions. I've talked about workbooks before for non-fiction, and of course with print on demand we don't have to spend much money in order to expand our product range. And what I found is even I've had some months where my print sales have paid me more than my ebook sales, and that in some countries. So in the UK, for example, I've had more revenue from print than I have in some months from ebooks, and that to me is a sign of indies maturing into more print, and I think that would be a great thing for all of us to consider. So how can you turn your books into these sort of larger print editions? I hope that's given you some food for thought. So subscribe to the channel if you'd like more videos, and I'll be back next week with another one. And of course, add any questions or comments below, and happy writing. I'll see you next time.